Hi folks, and welcome back to another Work in Progress Wednesday. This week I've done some more work on the weapon visuals, so let's take a look at what I've been doing. Last week I had created a simple sword and the scabbard to go with it. This week I fleshed out the scabbard a bit more by giving it some materials and applying some textures to those, such as wood for the bulk of the scabbard and a more metallic colour to the metal parts of the scabbard itself. I also broke this into two parts so that the scabbard itself is one part and the handle of the weapon supposedly contained within is another part, so that when I have the animation for unsheathing the sword, there'll be a portion where the character grabs onto the sword and starts pulling. At that point I will hide the handle that's attached to the scabbard and start showing the sword, so it looks like the sword is being pulled out of the scabbard, when in reality that's not happening, but it's a clever visual trick that I can use to make it look like that is actually happening. So as you can see here, I have the scabbard with the sword in it attached to his right hip. I'm kind of going for a more realistic placement of weapons here. With single-handed swords, you typically saw them carried on the hip as opposed to the back, which is where you see a lot of weapons carried in games. So I might have some attached on the back, who knows, but at least for the single-handed swords I'm going to have them on the hip. Another thing I've done is create this weapon inventory item, which has all of the information for weapons in it. It has the model for the sword and the model for the scabbard in there as well, and just some information for the weapon itself, like a description and price and all that fun stuff. So on the player itself, he has attachment points currently for where he'll hold the sword and where a scabbard should be attached, so on his hip. And he also has a script on him to say where to attach weapons to based on what kind of weapon it is. So for a one-handed weapon like this one, you'll see the sword is automatically gone to his hand and the scabbard has automatically attached to his hip. So when it comes time to doing different weapons like the axe that I showed in previous videos, or maybe some bigger weapons, the placement for these will be different in each case. So you'll maybe see the holsters being put on different parts of the body and being held in different places as well. It's very much dependent on the kind of weapon that you'll be using. What do you think about this week's video? I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.